So guys, I am a little upset right now. I started off telling you guys the story about this abusive situation that I was once in, trying to do a story time, and I deleted the footage. So I will start back over, and then I will freaking I have to pretty much start over, pretty much from the beginning. So with that being said, I am done with everything. Everybody is still sleeping, so I stepped out for a moment just to kind of start this over. So bear with me, guys. Literally, I was about 24 years old, 23, 24. So let's go to 2009, and I'm 23. Okay. I am online on Craigslist, of all places. That's when it was like fresh and new and hot and stuff, and like everybody was meeting people and personals and hey, what's this? So there was a guy posting in the Atlanta the Atlanta section, and he lived in Virginia. And he was like, hey, I'm moving to Atlanta soon, trying to meet up with people, trying to get to know. So we started, you know, vibing, emailing back and forth, and FaceTiming each other. He got a lot of responses, and I was the only one that he decided to, like, I made it out of everyone. Wasn't such a good thing, though. I ended up meeting this man for the first time about maybe like a month and a half later, and then we moved to Virginia eventually, and he came down and got us, and then we all moved together. He was a single father. He had a 8-year-old child that he was raising by himself. At the time, I thought that was very attractive. I had 2 little boys, and it was like, hey, a single father, this looks great. All his demons came out. Literally, he kept everything a secret from me up until the moment where I moved in with him. When I moved in with this man, everything was completely different. 100% different. Everything was a lie. That's why, you know, it's really important for you to take your time to get to know people nowadays. And me being 23 and being young and not really, like, there's so much that I wish I can just go back and redo. The shit that I know now. But guys, when I say that, literally, like, this whole relationship, I was spit on. I was beat. I was told the most disgusting things about myself. Like, we could get into an argument and this man would just go in. His 8-year-old daughter had to come and save my life countless of times because we were just in a situation that I couldn't leave. And it was very hard. He controlled everything. 100% everything. The money, everything. And he was just not a nice man. He abused me. He abused the kids. He abused our pet. We had a dog. I was terrified of this man. Very terrified of him. I didn't know what he was going to do next, to be honest. And it's very scary to be in a situation like that. Like, having to walk on eggshells every single day. Not knowing when he was going to snap, or when something was going to happen, or how bad it was going to get. It was pretty bad. Like, I can tell you guys some of the things that, you know, he did to the kids, things that he's done to me. So I met this guy, right? We moved in together, and then we moved to Virginia. We stayed in Virginia for 6 months together. And then in 2010, in June, we moved back to Atlanta together. Now, the whole time we were in Virginia, he controlled everything. I lived under his house. I didn't have a car. It was his money. Everything was his. I've always had my own job, always had my own house, always had my own car, always took care of everything else, and I gave everything to this man. That was my first mistake. He had control of every freaking thing possible. yeah. It's so hard to just think about this stuff, and I'm trying to, like, I know it's probably all over the place, but I'm trying, guys. It's just so much that went on with the situation. His daughter tried to save my life one night, and we got into an argument. He jumped up and he punched her in her nose. His own child, he punched her in the nose and bloody, then looked at me and said, "You see what you made me do? You see what you fucking made me do?" Had nothing to do with me. But at the time, the young naive me, I could have believed it. You know, he was so controlling, so controlling. Only wanted me if another woman was involved. Did not, I mean, literally, guys, it's just so much that went on with that whole relationship. Like, it was just a relationship out of hell. And I don't even understand how we made it, you know, a couple of years and 3 years on top of that. Like, it's just, it was such an unhappy time of my life. Very, very, very unhappy. You know, to have, I had to call the cops one night. It was on Halloween of 2010. And I was asking him to, no, that morning I woke up. He was standing over me asking me to, you know, pass the remote over to him. You know what? I'm going to save this story for later. Because kids need to eat real quick. And I'm out here just doing story time. And alright, guys. It is about 10 o'clock at night here in my house. The kids are sleeping. And I am sitting in my closet to continue this little conversation we were having earlier. We can call this, I guess, closet talk. I think I left off talking about Halloween of October. I'm sorry. What the fuck? It's too late, guys. I'm so sorry. But Halloween, obviously it's in October, but of 2010, and I was laying in the bed one morning, and I can't really remember like details. I just remember him standing over me, asking, like waking me up, asking me to get the remote that he could have literally walked around the bed and got. He just wanted to pick a fight with me. This man would have like dreams, and obviously I can't control the dreams that he's having, and he would have dreams and wake up and treat me based off of those dreams. So if he had a dream about me cheating on him, he would wake up and act as if it had really happened. So he would proceed to, you know, just have an attitude right off the jump. But that particular morning, he was picking with me, and I think it was because of that reason. And what he did was just like, just kind of like, hey, you know, can you get the remote? And I was like, did you seriously just wake me up? He got upset that I wouldn't hand it to him, and then he slapped me across my face. I jumped up, and then I asked him, you know, like, why did you do that? And then he proceeded to slap me again. It was on from there. Literally on and popping from there. We tussled. The kids were involved. Just say the cops were called. There's so much that this man has literally done, and like, I'm just very surprised that I'm here to this day, to be honest, because at one point I really did not think that, I really did not think that I was going to make it out of that relationship alive at one point. I really didn't. he would do this little, like, you know, routine every single night. Like he had an issue, like a super dark, deep issue. And I think it was just the particular person that I was just with. But it was just insane to have to be treated as a doormat every single night and to put up with it. And I know a lot of people would be like, oh, why did you stay? Why didn't you get up? And like I said, it was not that easy to just up and leave. There were children involved. There was his daughter from a previous relationship involved in the situation, who was also calling me mom. A lot of the times, if I did not, you know, if he was in jail or if we left, the girl was in the state. And I know it wasn't my issue. And I know it wasn't my, you know, responsibility. But I did feel like I owed that to her. I didn't want her, like, she was my responsibility. Like, we were together. She called me mom. So it was like, you know, I had this other child. It was a horrible, horrible time. But I have been, so the cops came on Halloween and they arrested him. He was one of those guys that like to take a video of me reacting to what he did to me. So he would do something to me. He stabbed me in my stomach one time with a pen. And, you know, as I'm, you know, in pain and then I'm coming back, he's got the camera up here at my face. And he's like, oh, no, don't come near me. Don't come near me. Don't come near me. Just that kind of person. It was such hell. When I tell you it was such hell, I mean it. Complete hell. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. You know, just to have someone that you supposedly loves you and they treat you that way. Like, it's not. No one deserves that. Nobody does. But, you know, it only made me stronger. It really did. In the end, it made me stronger. And I didn't understand then. But, I mean, we even lived in a storage unit. I lived in a storage unit. I was homeless with this man. And we were living in a freaking, I'm telling you guys, there's so much that is just like, hey, I have done it. Again, I keep trying to finish this story. Anyway, let me get back to it. On Halloween, we get into this little scuffle. And then, he always just smashed my cell phones all the time. So I didn't have a cell phone to call 911 on. And I just remember, like, we were upstairs. I had to, like, jet off. Like, I ran as fast as I could to get away from him. This man has held a knife to my throat. He has done, like, so many harsh, bad things. And he put, so pretty much, like, when, you know, when the cops got to the house, like, I had to go to the convenience store, and, they let me use the phone, and I called the cops. Cops brought me back to the house, and then he had also called the cops to make himself look good. So there were cops there as well when we arrived with the police. So they separated us, asked us both questions. Now, mind you, he's upstairs telling the world fucking lies. Okay? He's like, oh, she did this, and oh, she did this, and he's showing him, you know, the cops the footage on his phone of him saying, no, don't hit me, don't touch me, but yet you can't see anything. So the cop comes downstairs, and he's like, ma'am, can you stand up? And I'm thinking, oh my God, it worked. what else? Because the way he came downstairs, his whole presence was just like, they had been upstairs for 15 minutes and all of a sudden he's like, ma'am, stand up. And I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. This man has got you guys fooled. He's a fucking manipulator, and he twisted everything around, and I was terrified. And he said, can you stand up? Just for a minute though. I'm gonna let you sit back down. And so my heart went back down, and I was like, okay. He was like, this clown is upstairs trying to show us footage of you attacking him, but he don't have not one mark on his body. Not one mark on his body. No scratches, no nothing. He said, ma'am, can you raise your shirt up? Can you show me your body? I had bruises here. I had bruises on my thigh. This man kicked me with steel toe boots. Everything you could think of. And I should have known, because anyway, that night they arrested him, but I should have known, when I moved in and like his 8-year-old opened up to me, she made a comment one day when we were out at the store, and she was like, Daddy pushed mommy out the window. What 8-year-old says that? And he's like, nah, she's exaggerating. Ain't nobody. But no, he really did. And, I don't want to speak on their relationship, but, it's just like, wow. Yeah. So guys, that is a little bit of my past. I got out of the situation, needless to say. I finally got away from him. I stayed as long as I did because I didn't have anywhere to go, any family to go to, anybody to stay with, nothing. And I put up with a lot of that crap. But you don't have to, and you can always go out and seek help. And that's why I am trying to open up a nonprofit, and I'll clue you guys on all of that. But that's all I'm gonna share tonight about the situation. It's hard to think back on some of the stuff that I've been through, to be honest. It really is. I mean, because I'm like, gosh, I've been through a lot. I try to push everything back and out of my mind, but it explains a lot of the way that I am, why I am the way that I am today. And a lot of times I wonder why I'm like this. I'm always asking my honey that. I'm like, but, we all have a past, we all grow, and we all learn from it. And if you are in an abusive situation, don't think that that's something that you have to stay in and put up with, because I am one of the lucky ones that actually got out alive out of an abusive relationship. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this vlog. Leave comments down below, and if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so. And we will see you. I'm getting tired and my mind is racing, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this. But thank you so much for allowing myself to share a little bit of this story time with you. So until next time, and have a great night, guys.